I think there's a really big problem with Call of Duty right now, and this problem has been an issue since the game was released, or in my opinion, actually, when they released Rank Play. I actually love this game, brother. I love Black Ops 6. The core mechanics are addictive. I think they're rewarding. I think the gunfights are fun when you feel like you've had a fair gunfight. But ever since Rank Play was released, I think Call of Duty, all the shortcuts that they have taken from a server performance, a server protection, I think Call of Duty has just continued to take shortcuts over and over and over again when it comes to investing in the health and quality of the game. You know, this has been a really big complaint from my perspective, from my end, for many, many years now. You know, if you take a Call of Duty player and you send them over to a game like Valorant, where the game itself from the ground up was built around making sure that you have a fair and competitive gaming experience when you tap into a game of ranked, but not only, you know, like the health and quality of the game, but also the way that it feels when you're playing on those servers. I think if you boil it down to a number, Valorant servers are comparable to like 128 tick rate. Tick rate is, you know, from the Village Idiot over here's understanding of it, how often the server is like pinging back and forth to each player. And like the way that your bullets connect and the way that the game reacts to your input on the keyboard and mouse versus other players is how quickly you're getting a response back from the server. For anyone that doesn't know, Call of Duty for years, I mean, really since like I think the dawn of Call of Duty, they are on 10 to 16 to 20 something tick rate servers. Listen, I'm not trying to speak objective facts, I would say, just because I don't have a network background. Warzone is 10 tick rate for pubs, 20 for ranked, and multiplayer is dynamic up to 24. When I hear that compared to what I've experienced on Valorant and what they provide over on Counter-Strike, they're not even in the same ballpark, dude. They're not even in the same category of class when it comes to the publisher and what the studios that have created the game are actually providing for the community. Just think that is a massive, massive, massive problem that has gone overlooked for so long when it comes to Call of Duty. I think that they have always prided or taken a lot of pride in. They've had a massive player base, just hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people playing this game over the course of the last 2 decades. And for a long time, I think this game has always been like, oh, I'm coming home from work and I'm going to play with the boys for a couple hours and I'm going to kick back a few brewskis. And from my perspective, I think Call of Duty has taken pride in that type of audience, that type of casual player base. And so they've never really felt the need to invest in servers that perform better and faster and more efficiently, because I think they believe that the players that are truly making up the network of players that they have, using their game and playing their game every day, they won't notice the difference, and they don't actually care. And so if they don't actually care and this is a casual game, then why are we going to spend more money on server performance when we're not going to see any benefit to it? And I don't mean us as players. I mean, ourselves as if, we're talking from Activision's perspective. That is one of the biggest reasons why we continue to be served just a handful of shit every single year when we play this game. Honestly, if I'm sitting back from Activision's perspective, one of the worst decisions they could have made, even though we had been asking and begging for it for years, was to introduce ranked play into the ecosystem of Call of Duty. As the video game industry has grown, I think the focus of Twitch, at least beyond Grand Theft Auto and a few other outliers, people love to play games that are competitive, that have a ranked system that is rewarding and rewards you for getting better at the game. And for me, as a young kid, ranked play in any game is the only reason what gets me hooked. It's the only thing that makes me want to play it more. I love to be competitive against other players. I love to have a rank next to my name in the game to show how much better I've gotten at the game. And that to me is the reward system. That's what, stimulates my brain to say, ooh, I'm going to play this again tomorrow. The problem is Call of Duty finally gave us rank play, but they didn't go all in. It was almost as if they finally bent the knee to all of these requests and the desire from like a small portion of the community. And I think eventually, even if they didn't add rank play for multiplayer, because I think the competitive makeup of the overall community that plays the game is still pretty small in comparison to the casual players. I think that they were feeling pressure from other games like Fortnite adding in a ranked mode and all these other titles bolstering a rank play system that was keeping players engaged and wanting to come back and play the game the next day. So I think rank play would have been introduced eventually, but I certainly think the vocal minority pressured Activision to introduce rank play some years ago, but they never really went all in. Rank play has been broken time after time after time. The biggest disappointment from my perspective is that Treyarch actually did an incredible job of creating a game that is fun to play. The core mechanics of Black Ops 6, like I said at the beginning of this conversation, are unbelievable. I think it's one of my favorite games that I've had in my hands in a very long time. The House of Lies, I would call it. It's like houses being built. I was trying to think of an analogy before I started the stream that would make sense the way that I see Call of Duty. Newer homes, they look great, it seems great, but they use shortcuts, cheap materials. You move into this fucking thing and it's broken. The construction is just shitty, shoddy, cheap materials. The people that are building it, they don't give a fuck. They're just trying to get it done. You got nails exposed in the drywall. All the plumbing is fucked. There's nothing in this home that actually works properly. It looks good, but once you get in there and you live there for 6 months, the damn thing is falling apart. That's what Call of Duty feels like to me. From a network perspective, from an anti-cheat perspective. The game itself, Treyarch did their job. The game is fun. The mechanics are fun. But once you start playing the game, if you actually spend time, like meaningful time playing this game, it does not work properly. Whoever is running the game from a server and network perspective, I don't know if that direct order comes from Activision. I don't know who is making the decisions for the servers that we play on. But if I get into a ranked game of multiplayer, there's 3 things that are going to happen. One of the 3 things are guaranteed to happen. You're either going to be playing somebody who is blatantly hacking and aim locking or closet walling. Some of these guys are really good at hiding how they cheat. So that's strike 1 for me. There's no authentic experience. The game itself, there is no authenticity behind my experience with the game. The second thing that's going to happen is if they are cheating and they're about to lose the game, then they lag out the server, bro. They DDoS the server. They send a egregious amount of like packets on Activision's network, and then it lags out the entire game. Everybody gets sent back to the lobby. Nobody gets SR, so I just wasted 10 minutes of my time. That's strike number 2. And then strike number 3 is I play a game that, all things considered, the players on the other team seem normal, and I feel like I'm about to have a normal Skyline hardpoint. But then I look up left at my telemetry or whatever the hell you call it. It says I'm on 20 ping, but I've got like a half a second delay on my bullets being shot from my gun, and I feel like I'm just getting absolutely pissed on, even though this number is telling me that I have a low ping, a low digit ping, but it feels fucking terrible. It feels like I'm playing COD 4. Bro, I have a visceral, like, I can't even begin to explain to you how real this memory is. Back when I was a pro player in COD 4, all the tournaments were online. Every single tournament we played was online. And they had these things called pro circuit ladders. It was basically like game battles. You sign up, you get your boys, you pay $120, and you could play on this like paywall pro circuit ladder that would qualify you for the national championship later that year if you placed high enough. And there was a team called ATZ, and all 4 players were from California. And so if you played them and they were the higher seed on the ladder, they had a better record, they were like a top 10 team, that means that they would host 2 out of the 3 games that you played versus them. And all 4 of them on a West Coast California host, it was almost impossible to beat them. It was almost impossible to beat them because the network delay between you pinging to their host across the country, it was almost impossible to overcome that. And I'm not even kidding, and I do not say this lightly, and I'm not trying to be dramatic. Bro, I'll be on a server here in Texas, pinging to Atlanta, where I got 17 to 20 millisecond ping. I feel like that I'm still in 2008 playing on that West Coast server. There is no consistency with the network that you play on, these servers that you play on. And I think that has a lot to do with the low tick rate that we play on and have continued to play on in Call of Duty. I don't have a network background. I do not have a network engineer degree. But I'm telling you that after playing Valorant and playing other games that actually invest in the health of their servers, we are playing a game that is built for 2024, but performs like a game from 2008. And I would imagine that is motivated and is implemented in Call of Duty. Their server health exists in that way because they don't want to spend more money on more capable servers. The problem is Call of Duty has these great homes. They look beautiful. You think you want to pull the trigger, buy your first home, move in. It was built last year. It's got all the bells and whistles. The photos look great. You walk through it, your first pass, you're like, oh, this is pretty nice. But then you buy the damn home, you move in, you live there for 3 months, everything is broken. All the materials are cheap. Nothing works the way it's supposed to. You've got a handyman coming out every single month trying to fix something for you. I literally have to pay an aerospace engineer. I'm not even kidding. This guy used to work as an aerospace engineer, and he quit his fucking job to do 15 appointments a day from people in the Call of Duty community spending money to have him come in and optimize their PC, update their motherboards, tweak their GPUs and their CPUs, and literally push these PCs as far as they can just so that they can get the amount of frames that you should be getting to play Call of Duty. I mean, they're doing fucking open heart surgery on my PC just to get 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 frames because the game is optimized like shit as well. One of the most contentious points over the last 2 years I've seen in Warzone is having this guy, Artist War, literally downloading 3 different programs on your PC and going into your config files just so that you can hear what's actually happening in the game. And you're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't. If you don't optimize your audio, you're going to get fucking slammed. And if you do optimize your audio, then everybody tells you, oh my God, you're fucking cheating, bro. This is an unfair gaming experience. I mean, there is so much that you have to do in order to feel like you're playing a fair game of Call of Duty. And those are just the things that you can control. No matter how set up you are with a PC, no matter how tweaked you have your audio to make sure that you can play a real game, as soon as you get into the server, we got to go back to those 3 strikes we just talked about. We got to go back and talk about the fact that there's somebody cheating in this lobby. If somebody is cheating in the lobby and they feel like they're going to lose, they just lag out the server so nobody wins. And then if you get past all that, there's no cheater in the lobby, the server hadn't been lagged out, you get to step 3, the final fucking frontier. You're on 15 ping, but the game still feels like shit. You got joked in every gunfight. You watch the kill cam. This guy looks like he's chewing on the drywall that these construction workers just installed in my home last week, literally gnawing on it. They're in slow motion, and it looks like I wasn't even shooting back at the guy. The game has so many foundational issues that no matter how good Treyarch or Sledgehammer or Infinity Ward or Raven, no matter what they do, they're always going to lose. They're always going to lose too, because Call of Duty does not invest in server health, server protection, and server performance. The game is not meant to be played by this many people. It's not meant to be played competitively. And I damn near feel like it's not even meant to play casually. I love this game. I love Call of Duty. I spent so many years away with it, and then starting to stream again, starting to grind again on MW3, the game felt, for the most part, very fun. But we dealt with waves and waves and waves of cheaters. We go through the normal Call of Duty cycle. I go on a Valorant arc, play that for 4 or 5 months, waiting for Black Ops 6. We play the beta, have a lot of fun with it. We wait a couple more months. The game finally comes out. The game is great. Had a great time with the Dark Matter grind. Had a great time with trying to reach Master Prestige. Wait about a month and a half. Rank play comes out. All smiles. Can't wait to play it. And now just the last 3 weeks have been quite literally the most miserable gaming experience I've ever had. Every single lobby, somebody's cheating. Team Ricochet comes out with a tweet 2 weeks later after rank play launches, after literally going through hell Say, oh, we banned 19,000 accounts. We raised the threshold of our AI systems and our data storage to better improve the efficacy of those AI systems. I'm like, what the fuck did you just say to us? What are we talking about? What are you even saying? The cheaters continue to run rampant in ranked. If you scroll through the top 250 of ranked multiplayer, I think there's like 25 out of the top 250 that are real players, real accounts that aren't cheating. I pray for anybody that makes it up to Crimson, Iridescent, or top 250, because every single kill cam you watch, you think everybody just got a gun pointed at each other, accusing everybody of cheating. The gaming experience, it's fucking chalked. I mean, you cannot play this game at a high level and have a normal, healthy experience. Yes, dude, I'm a streamer that makes money from the people at home watching me. And I have made a living off of Call of Duty, man. My career is literally what it is today because of Call of Duty. I love the game. I have a lot of friends that work at Activision. I have a lot of friends that work at Treyarch. And I respect what they do at the company and the respective company that they work for. The game literally just came out almost 2 months ago, and I don't want to play it anymore because I don't feel like I'm actually using my time productively. I don't feel like I'm actually having a fair gaming experience. I don't want to play the game, and I think that's a huge problem. Team Ricochet comes out yesterday for their second update about how fucked their game actually is and how little Team Ricochet and their anti-cheat actually work, and they're telling us we're going to have a kernel level driver anti-cheat sometime in season 2, sometime in season 3. Bro, season 1 just came out 25, 30 days ago, a month ago. We just got season 1 reloaded. Bro, there's still like 45 days left in season 1. Bro, if it happens anytime in season 3, brother, we're going to be in the summer. As soon as they get this anti-cheat to possibly work properly, it's not even gonna fucking matter because as soon as we get to June, July, August, that's when they start slamming us with all the trailers and leaks and hype for the next Call of Duty title. So in my mind, Black Ops 6 is already chalked. Black Ops 6 is dead in the water.